Thanks for staying with us. I'm Bill O'Reilly in the Miller Time segment tonight. As we've reported, President Obama is pardoning a lot of convicted felons. Dennis Miller has been watching that very closely and has predictions for the future. The sage of Southern California joins us now from Santa Barbara. All right, Miller, who's going to get pardoned?
Well, Billy, I just want to say these are the final day pardons. These are the big ones. I wanted to get in early with my bracketology because pretty soon everybody's going to be doing predictions. I wanted to be in there first. In the number 5 slot, I've got Mumia Abu-Jamal, who was indicted and convicted of killing, and I think it's important we mention the victims here. 1981, Philadelphia police officer Daniel Faulkner. Now, Mumia is not to be confused with Billy Mummy from the great Lost in Space show. In the number 4 slot, we have Leonard Peltier, who in 1975 killed 2 FBI agents, Ron Williams and Jack Kohler. And he and Mumia both lend themselves to those free Abu-Jamal, free Peltier T-shirts. So this is the T-shirt duo right here. In the number 3 slot, I've got Marc Rich. And he's dead. He died a few years ago. But Democrats, they're compulsed to give him a pardon, as Bill Clinton did.
Bill Clinton gave him a pardon, and that was the Eric Holder thing. Now, Rich is interesting because we reported on this extensively. The worst tax cheat in American history. Never went
you want to hear
prison.
the first lines?
Go.
You want to hear the first line in the New York Times obit? Imagine this. This is the Times opening. A shrewd, swashbuckling oil trader. Can you believe how they spin that? How's about a suave slime ball? Marc Rich, he gets the number 3 slot because they always give it to him, even though it's emeritus now because he's croaked it. Number 2, we got Joanne Chesimard, who lives down in Cuba now. Now, she has a Muslim name. I'm not going to say it because then people will accuse me of coming down on Muslims. But she, in 1973, killed a New Jersey State Trooper, Werner Foerster, and she's still down in Cuba. And I think what will eventually happen there is when President Obama cleans out Gitmo, he'll turn it over to Chesimard, and she'll become the Scarlett O'Hara of this Cuban Tara and just continue to live down there. And in the number 1 slot, Billy, who's going to be pardoned on the last day? I have the incredible 2-headed transplant. No, not Rosie Greer and Ray Milland, but rather Bill and Hillary. Hillary's probably going in for the private server thing. Bill, you throw a dart, baby. There's a lot of reasons there. But
you know, people have now got to watch the incredible 2-headed transplant with Roosevelt Greer, former tackle for the New York Giants, and Ray Milland. It rivals Bordello of Blood for depth and empathy. You're welcome. All right,
Billy, can I tell you, Bordello of Blood still pays for my dental benefits. Go ahead.
I love you getting those vampires. Now, Puerto Rico's broke. All right, they owe billions of dollars. They can't pay it. Should the American taxpayer bail them out, Miller?
Well, this is money better spent with our new best friends in Iran, is the way I look at it. I don't want to divert money away from Iran to go to Puerto Rico. Listen, I did some research on this because it was such a serious subject you gave me. I felt forced to study, so thank you for that.
You're welcome.
I don't think we're going to give them actual taxpayer dollars. There's a program called Promesa, P-R-O-M-E-S-A, and the first 3 letters of that are Puerto Rican oversight. What it essentially does at this point is it makes it more lenient for them to declare bankruptcy without actually declaring it. They get some of the protections of bankruptcy. At this moment, it's not about tax dollars. Like I said, that's the most serious answer I've ever get on here. If anybody in Puerto Rico is watching, my advice, don't become a state. Stay unincorporated territory because this thing's going down, and you don't want to be riding it when it's going down. And lastly, Billy, can I read something real quickly?
Sure.
I think it's a good, serious thing. It's about things like Puerto Rico, why people are so bummed out that they have to keep paying taxes for all these things. It comes from a great book. It's a prefatory note in a book by Amity Shlaes called The Forgotten Man, about the Great Depression. It's uttered by a man named William Graham Sumner, 1883 essay called called the Forgotten Man. He was the first Yale sociology professor, and this sums up all the animus in America for paying too much taxes. As soon as A observes something which seems to him to be wrong, from which X is suffering, A talks it over with B. A and B then propose to get a new law passed to remedy the evil and help X. Their law always proposes to determine what C shall do for X, or in better case, A, B, and C shall do for X. C is the person I want to know. C is the forgotten man. He is the man who was never thought of. He works, he votes, generally he prays, but he always pays. C is rising up in this country.
All right, Dennis Miller, if you followed that, turn in your quiz right after the program.